welcome to the Men Are Forged podcast. This is Cartwright Morris, your host. Men Are Forged. What is Men Are Forged about? Men Are Forged equips young professional men to make meaningful decisions that align with their purpose and their values. I hope each and every episode, each and every interview engages you to think deeply, to think personally, intentionally about your life, and actually maybe challenge or confront things to you to make a decision, to switch the way you see things, to engage your mind, your will to something new, to something greater than what you're already doing. So if that has landed for you in some kind of way, if this is your second or even third episode you've ever listened to, please go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review. This really helps me out, get more people engaged in the podcast, understanding what's going on. And then as well as, subscribe, of course. Hit that subscribe button. And also go on menareforged.com and subscribe to my mailing list, and you get the full detailed notes of each and every interview, as well as what I'm getting into right here today. So, speaking of that, let me dive right in here to the quotes from my interview with Tyler Dickerhoof, of the Impact Driven Leader podcast. One of these things he said early on was, My real value was not in what I knew, but in encouraging others and helping others see what they can't see. Now, I think he's really taken this as, I think definitely as a younger guy, you think it's all about what I can acquire, gain, achieve. That's what's going to bring me value. That's what value is created, but there's really finite belief in that. When really the value that when you start giving to other people, providing a service, starting an organization, thinking of a product that actually benefits another person or multiple people, or even being a leader in a church in some type of way, or leading people in your business, there is, when you start encouraging others and helping others like grow beyond what they think is possible, or making them aware of skills, strengths, personality traits that actually are beneficial to them, that actually help them learn, grow, provide for their family, whatever. I thought that was a really great quote by Tyler. Very fascinating. And he kind of addressed that, talked about that. Well, that came from, so I got 5 questions to ask yourself that you can go on menareforged.com/guest interviews. That's right after the highlights. One of those questions was number 2, am I addressing my insecurities, and how so? That was something that he really hit on, is like when he started addressing those insecurities in his life, he really started learning, understanding, growing about what is really valuable and how to be part of a team, and wanting to be part of a team and not be on an island and not think that, being this great guy is a guy who's got it all figured out, but actually engaging with others. So that's why he definitely hit on that point, because another quote he said is, in all avenues, the way forward is with people. Makes complete sense, no matter where you are, that the way forward is not alone. That at the end of the day, even when the people say, I did it all myself, like, that's just not possible. Somebody granted you a favor. Somebody gave you an opportunity that you probably didn't deserve. Somebody, employed you. Somebody gave you money. Somebody sold you their house. Somebody, accepted a date. There's just thousands of reasons why, like, you're not the 100% equation here in your success, in your growth, in your advancement in your life, wherever you are. Somebody did something for you It may not have been 100% out of the kindness of their heart, but they did something for you. So we're never where we're at solely because of ourselves. And then he kind of hit it. Another great quote I put on the website. To be a leader, you have to be growing and around others who are growing in what you want to grow in. I think that's the great mark of really great leaders is they're lifetime learners. There's no arrival point. Let me just get to these questions to ask yourself, because this is the fun part that I like to self-reflect, to process, to think about for you. And I hope this is what adds value to you. So question 1, how has my childhood trauma shaped my adult life positively or negatively? Which is definitely for all of us is both. Let me define trauma real quick. There is type A trauma or big T trauma, some people call it, or type B trauma where it says little t trauma. Tyler mentioned a big T trauma. He was driving the tractor and lost sight of his brother and actually ran over him and killed his own brother when he was 14 years old. That is traumatic. That is big T trauma. Some people define big T trauma, type A trauma, as things that have happened to you. Divorce, separation, abuse, different things like that, like drug addiction, things that happen now, that's the type of trauma that versus little t trauma is the things that were withheld from you that you needed as a human being. Love, affection, emotional attunement, like those kind of things. That would be a little t trauma. So we've all experienced these things when I say positive, negatively, like trauma that you've actually grown from, you've actually addressed in your life, and it's led to the positive things in your adult life. Negatively, are you still holding on to it? Are you still letting that victimhood define you? It's some of y'all, I know there is absolutely justified victimhood from what you've experienced. I can't imagine some of the things that y'all have gone through. But there still is a level of growth point. There still is a level of understanding it, learning from it, and actually coming out better and not letting it define you. That trauma, we are more than our childhood traumas, for sure. So number 2, am I addressing my insecurities? I mentioned this earlier, and how so? That's kind of off of that, insecurities. I mean, like one that I have been hammering in my adulthood is like terrified to fail. The insecure feeling, like debilitating feeling of not feeling like I could fail in any capacity, in any space. Felt like I was going to let everybody down, myself down. I was going to lead down. Somehow played some fatalist mindset that was not based in reality. When we really start addressing our insecurities, we find a lot of them are not based in reality. And we actually just need to find a place to voice them and kind of look at them and go, oh, they're not as bad as I thought. So number 3, how am I using my strength to benefit others? Strengths, plurally, but that also can mean singularly. Tyler talked about, his kind of intensity, his desire to be out in front, has led him to use that to help other people, to lead them well, to help them get excited about their life, to bring people in the fold. You could just tell being around Tyler, he's a great networker, very much connects people with other people. You could just you can go on his podcast and there's some pretty big time players, some great people on there. From the John Maxwells to the Carolina Leafs, just people that, really influence our culture today. Number 4, who am I actively learning from? Yeah, I think this is a great thing of like, I'm just growing up here right in front of your eyes or ears. Who am I actively learning from? That's a hard question to ask, because when I really wanted to put the adverb in there, actively, meaning you've got an intentional mindset of like, I am positioning myself to learn from this person, to be around. It could be a boss, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be, I think there were seasons in my life where there were like leaders, pastors that I was just like, any kind of content they put out, whether it was a book, a podcast, a YouTube clip, a webinar, I was consuming it. Everything that they had. I mean, I get on their website, their blog, that's an active thing to learn from. But I think the flesh and blood person is probably even more valuable. Am I asking this person questions on a regular basis? Are they attentively asking me questions? Do they seem comfortable with me being around them that much and asking them questions? So that's, I think, we all need. And then number 5, am I embracing my leadership role in my own life, family, work, or self? This was definitely, I was trying to think of this very micro. And I really put self at the end. Really, I wanted you to kind of reflect on that. Am I leading myself? Self-leadership is such a valuable thing. Tyler hit it on in the interview. Yeah, are you leading yourself well? Are you asking yourself the hard questions? Are you doing the little things, taking care of your body, mind, and spirit? Is there working out, eating right, exercise? I just said working out, pretty much the same thing. My soul, am I being around people that give me energy as well as I'm giving them energy? Am I actively becoming emotionally healthy by addressing my insecurities? Am I leading myself well? I think that starts there, that's when really God starts giving you an audience, starts giving you, and when I say audience, then that could be 4 or 5 people, that could be a family, that could be employees, leadership roles. Yeah, are you embracing them in your own life? Saying, I'm not going to avoid this. I'm actually going to take it, really appreciate it for what it is, that I am standing in front of people, leading them somewhere. And that means not only perks of the leadership, as in titles or money, but also means sacrifice, responsibility. Are you embracing those things? So anyway, that was the questions I asked yourself, myself. I hope you learned a lot from it. I hope I gave some clarity maybe on some of the questions, but check out Tyler's website, Instagram, and podcast as well. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Please rate and review on Apple Podcasts. That really helps me. It helps the algorithm, more people to find me. And go on mentorforge.com, set up a free call if you are interested in coaching or the course in January. I would love to have you, especially if you're a young professional man looking for more direction in your life and career, looking for the essentials to build and discover what's in front of you. Yeah, go schedule I'll send you into a link to schedule a time for like a 10, 15-minute call where you can just ask questions and figure out if my coaching's for you, and then you can go from there, and I'll give you instructions from there. So, all right, I think I'm done. Thank y'all for listening. I'll see you next time.